a bit of a late weather outlook because the Storm Center just updated this region. But let's get into everything that we have going on today. Today is July 25th, 2025. I'm also live on Twitch right now. so So what's happening today is we have a slight risk of severe weather across places in North Dakota, some parts of South Dakota, and Montana, along with Missouri and Kansas, which is the main area we're focusing on, and New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island. So the main thing we're focusing on today is the tornado risk. You guys want to know this? The main risk of tornadoes today is in the 5% region. Again, we only focus on tornadoes. I keep saying this, but it's the truth. Only focusing on tornadoes and the main risk of tornadoes is, dude, I cannot draw today. Right there. So there is a 5% chance of a tornado, which means I have to actually do things. Scattered strong to severe storms will pose a risk of damaging wind gusts across parts of New England and the northern Mid-Atlantic states this afternoon. Severe storms will also be possible across much of North Dakota as well as eastern Kansas into western Missouri. So, fun fact about this slight risk here, this is actually a tornado risk. This is not a damaging wind threat. This is a tornado risk. So this is a bit more concerning than this is actually a bit more concerning than ignore everything you see over here. This is not my account. I swear. I swear. Oh god, it's gonna glitch. Okay, that's fine. I do want to get the thing though out of it. So again, main risk here is also the reason I'm not live streaming this because I know we saw the 4 p.m. time, everything about that. We live streamed it immediately because there was a mesoscale discussion in effect for that area. As of right now, there is no mesoscale discussion in effect for this area. There probably will be one. There's a mesoscale discussion in effect for the Mid-Atlantic and the New England area, so I will get into that in a second because that is actually a risk for my area. And so if any one of my friends or people that live in this region are watching it, I do want to talk about what this is. And probably during the live stream, I'll probably hear my radio go off at least once because of the tornado risk or the severe thunderstorm watch that has a 6% chance of going in effect. I've already looked at models for this region and I do know what to expect because this is my region. And ChatGPT does not want to work today. All right. Northeastern Mid-Atlantic, a fast-moving short-lived trough over Quebec is driving a cold front southward across New England. Ahead of the hot front, hot and humid air, leading to scattered thunderstorms this afternoon in southern New England, eastern New York, and eastern PA. Storm movement is southeast toward the coast. So when it comes to the tornado risk, which is the main thing we focus on, obviously, if you have a southeastern wind moving system, the good thing when it comes to tornado formation is that it is an easterly moving system. So that means a tornado could form, but when it's moving south, there is a higher chance that it won't form because it's moving south. You normally want either a fully eastern moving system or a northeastern moving system, but this is a south and eastern moving system. Main threat is damaging wind gusts. The northern plains, Montana, Wyoming, North Dakota. A southern stream trough is moving from Utah to Wyoming. This, combined with moisture/lift, will trigger scattered storms late afternoon across eastern Montana, northeast Wyoming, North Dakota. That's an evening threat. Main threats are large hail, especially with stronger cells and local damage winds. And then finally, eastern Kansas, western Missouri, which is the biggest threat we're watching here. A slow-moving MCV is enhancing mid-level winds, 30 to 40 knots per radar wind profiles. This is the KEAX radar. High surface moisture, dew points in the 70s. Lingering boundary is it going favorable for supercells. Main threat is damaging winds, brief tornado potential, and storms possible into the early evening. And Northern California and Western Nevada, slow moving upper lows, creating conditions for dry thunderstorms, which is a fire weather concern. However, small enough moisture and cooling mid-level temps, -12 Celsius at 500 millibars, could allow for small hail and gusty/conventional winds this early through sunset. So the key highlights for this are damaging winds are the top threat. Uh, in the most areas, especially Nebraska, Mid-Atlantic, and Kansas, South Missouri. Um, Large hail and isolated tornadoes remain possible in North Dakota, Montana, Wyoming, and Kansas and Missouri. Fire weather concerns continue for Northern California, western Nevada, with potential for dry lightning and isolated hail/wind gusts. Obviously, when we look on the map here, there is a genuine severe thunderstorm risk in this area, but that is a wind and only wind threat. So we've already looked at the tornado threat. We know what that is. The wind threat exists for North Dakota and the Mid-Atlantic regions. That's the main wind threat, and the main hail threat exists for North Dakota. So I want to go into the mesoscale discussion that is also in effect currently for um, eastern Pennsylvania to southern New England. This scattered storms will develop after about 19Z. That's about 3 p.m. with locally strong wind gusts. So 60% chance of a severe thunderstorm watch. Uh, Scattered storms will develop from after 19Z from eastern Pennsylvania into southern New England with increasing coverage through about 0Z, which is about 8 p.m. Some storms may produce damaging winds later this afternoon. A prefrontal surface trough will deepen this afternoon within a zone of strong heating extending from southern New England southward across Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Within the zone, a moist air mass remains with the PWAT of 1.75 to 2 inches. Although shear is marginal for organized severe storm at or below 35 knots, the combination of favorable timing with peak heating, steep boundary layer lapse rates means winds of 30 to 40 knots through a deep layer suggest a few quarters of a grading storm producing a strong to locally severe gusts. I want to say they don't talk about this enough really, but there's a tornado risk here. A very minor one, I think. I have not really looked at in the more tornado risks, but I have. I don't know if it's possible. By the time this goes up, yeah, by the time this video goes up, anyway, it's probably gonna expire. I feel bad for my friends because I'm on with them right now. Okay, that's fine. So there's a 6% chance this gets issued. It would probably be, if I want to highlight counties here, it would probably be here, all the way up here. Basically, all these counties. So like Camden County would probably be in it. Gloucester would probably be in it. Maybe not Gloucester because most of it's not in this mesoscale discussion. But there is a small chance that I think Gloucester might get included. Anything really north of Camden is probably going to be in this severe thunderstorm watch if it gets issued. All of that little New York area will be in New York City area will be in this. All of Rhode Island. There's like 3 counties. Yeah. All of Eastern PA basically. But yeah, that's that. I did not mean to open that up. Do I have? Is my radar audio still tweaking? No. Okay. So tornado risk. Looking at timings for you guys. Compost reflectivity. I'm actually about to close out and delete. Wait, I'm making. I'm playing. Dude, come on. Hold on, guys. I'm closing Steam. That might fix it all. As we can see, very strong storm formation will start about 5 p.m. here. So expect the mesoscale discussion to go up very soon. That's what normally happens. But very strong convection is going to start forming there. It will continue as it's about south of Corville Grove, south of Osage City. The northern part of it, west of Kansas City, is not that strong, but it still poses a severe weather threat. And it becomes more of a line as it goes over Topia, how you pronounce it. I probably butchered the shit out of that. Topia, I'm not trying at this point. But that does become a very actual line of severe storms as it makes its way towards Kansas City. And this is an eastern moving system, so these are probably going to be eastern moving supercells, which pose a strong to severe weather threat. Become a lot more organized, but this is at 8 p.m. Eastern daylight time as it goes through Kansas City. It as of 9 p.m. here, as we can see, the most of it's now north of Kansas City, and the strongest of it has really died out. Some um storms are forming right here again, but I don't know if it's going to cause much of a severe weather threat. Yeah, it's going to die out. And most of it by 10 p.m. should be gone, and that's and then we'll only look in the slight risk because that's the tornado threat. And that's by the time it gets out of there, it's nothing to worry about. When it comes to significant tornado parameters, on the other hand, I'll look at MUH in a second. I'm going crazy in my game right now. As we can see, near Kansas City, it doesn't really peak. These storms do not really pose much of a tornado threat, it appears. Maybe. Again, I think that if the SPC thinks there's a risk, then there's a risk. Also, I want to adjust something real quick. Why wasn't I live streaming that day when I made a video? So what happened was mesoscale discussions didn't really show much of a tornado threat with the storms forming. I was watching it pretty heavy, and mesoscale discussions did not really show much of a tornado threat, and all the things that were up were severe thunderstorm watches. There were no tornado watches. So therefore, as you know with me, we only do stuff if there is a tornado watch or some sort of tornado risk, and there wasn't. With this day, I don't know. I'm highly doubting that there's going to be much of a tornado threat, as we can very strong updrafts. So maybe, but that's a big maybe. We'll see. We'll see. We might be back later today to address the genuine tornado threat. Again, also with this, do not forget, North Dakota does still have a tornado risk too, so let's not take away from it. And we could maybe see a few pop-ups in New Jersey, Pennsylvania area, maybe even New York. So let's not take away from this risk. We'll be back probably in a few hours to start watching this tornado threat unfold. I'll see you guys soon.